Hello, everyone. It's great to have this opportunity to be present here. And as someone else said, humbling. I also feel this way, humbling to be counted amongst these amazing presentations and to be able to have this opportunity to share ideas with you. What I'm planning to do today is talk about an anthology I published last June. But first, I would like to thank Philip and the team from Riverside for helping make this book a reality. Their counsel and patience and support was invaluable to this project. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank all the contributors to the book, because of course, without them, there is no book. Let's see. Sorry. I wanted to start off by introducing my collaborators who couldn't be here today. First of all, Sana Marani. Sana's an urban theorist and an experimental architect. She currently holds a position as Associate Head of School for Graduate Affairs for the School of Art, Design and Architecture at the University of Plymouth, UK. This is in addition to her role as a stream leader for history and theory of architecture and critical contexts. Sana's main research interest is in the field of critical urban theory with a particular focus on transient conditions of marginality and displacement. Alberto de Campo is a composer and performer. He teaches generative art and computational art. He's an associate professor at the University of Art in Berlin. And his work explores a wide range of topics and collaborations with other artists and students, code-based network music performance, biologically informed inspired art, hybrid audiovisual performance instruments and interactive systems, and improvisation strategies in different contexts. I'm a I'm a computational artist and composer, and currently I'm chair and associate professor in computational arts in the School of Arts, Media, Performance and Design at York University. Through my interdisciplinary practice, I often collaborate with architects, scientists, and other artists. My work explores the boundaries between virtual and physical space and results in a disparate practice that spans from performance to public and gallery-based art. The connecting tissue in my work lies in my interest in knowing. How do we come to know something? How do we know what we know? And how do we express what we know to each other? Through immersive art, we are able to create new experiences that express concepts that are beyond the language and only genuinely knowable through the senses. Techne. We use the term techne in our work to describe the process from creation to presentation as part of a continuum. Techne is an ancient philosophical concept that in simplified terms is concerned with art and craft of making. For Aristotle, art is the same thing as a rational quality concerned with making, that reasons truly. Techne is a mode of rationalization capable of concept forming, a form of discourse in its own right. In Heidegger's The Question Concerning Technology, the need for techne is presented with urgency. Heidegger does not think we can escape the rise of new technology. Therefore, in order to make the world a better place, we must embrace technology responsibly. As he states, because the essence of technology is nothing technological, essential reflection upon technology and decisive confrontation with it must happen in a realm that is, on one hand, akin to the essence of technology, and on the other, fundamentally different from it. Such a realm is art, but certainly only if reflection on art for its part does not shut its eyes on the consolation of truth after which we are questioning. For Heidegger, the questioning of technology lies in how we enframe the world. Through our apparatuses and media, we can manipulate the senses, shifting perception in order to critique and question the world. This enframing can be understood as world-making. We change the frame, we change the perspective, and thereby change our understanding of it. We change the world. According to trans architect Marcos Novak, thank you. According to trans architect Marcos Novak, the extreme changes brought forth by technology create unprecedented new opportunities to conceive new kinds of spaces or worlds. The characteristics of these spaces transform conventional modalities of expression from a familiar medium to a new and unfamiliar form that Novak calls the extreme intermedium, in which he says, architecture becomes liquid, music becomes navigable, cinema becomes habitable, dance becomes disembodied. As distant as these new options seem from their origins and from each other, they are related to one another by what can only be called world-making. He goes on to say that world-making is the key metaphor in the new arts. The emergence of new domains is happening at a frenzied, exponential pace. In recent history, this has been evident in the rise of digital technologies, the internet, and related technologies, and it is present in newer domains such as nanotechnology, biotechnology, quantum technology, robotics, and artificial intelligence. In this rising tide, we are faced with two options. We can wait and see how these domains take shape, then respond, or we can try and anticipate, even derail the course of these domains and help create them, thereby shaping the world itself. The book is organized into three sections, poetic, machinic, and cybernetic. The intent in creating these sections in this book was not an attempt to create rigid categories within the discourse. Rather, we wanted to create connections between them. We did this by selecting unconventional texts by familiar authors that include texts in sections that fall outside of their normal, here we are, sorry. Texts that fall outside of their normal categorization in order to break the frame. Poetic. The title for the first section of this book is a portmanteau between the terms poesis and poetry. Poesis is an ancient Greek term meaning to bring something into existence, which either involves autopoiesis, self-creation, or allopoiesis, the creation of the other. The bringing together of poesis and poetry is meant to describe the drive to make living artworks. Living artworks are poetic, unexpected, and emergent, but are shaped by the artist in order to express a particular idea or experience that is either a reflection of the known world or a view into the world that is alien and unfamiliar. The balancing of poesis and poetry is fundamental in the aesthetics of world-making and computational art. The machinic section includes contributions by authors who use abstract assemblages in their frameworks to describe and implement their work. We derive the term machinic from the first chapter of this section, Machinic Heterogenesis by renowned philosopher Félix Guattari. In the simplest terms, the machinic describes the relationship between human and machine. Machinic heterogenesis also includes the world of living beings, which have similar qualities to machines, or are even considered machines in their own right, but without an anthropocentric purpose, or any purpose at all. Machinic heterogenesis provides a description of the high-level processes that govern a machine and its modality of production. There are two aspects to the machinic, the diagrammatic and the materialized machine. The diagrammatic machine exists virtually as a proto-machine. The materialized machine exists as an instance of the diagrammatic. The diagrammatic is capable of producing many materialized machines, and unlike the materialized machines, is unfixed and always in flux. The domain of computational is an exemplar of the machinic. Computational processes are not limited to digital computation and can include mathematical, biological, and other systems as their basis. What is unique in the digital domain is the diagrammatic computational system, the model, and the materialized result of that system, the instant, are created using the same tools. As a result, the machinic processes of abstraction and implementation are often blurred. I'm going to take one more minute. For instance, the materialized form of the computational machine is the ability to evolve, dematerialize, and produce other machines auto and allopoietically. The diagrammatic can even produce materialized machines that recursively write the diagram and reinstantiate themselves as they run. Cybernetic. The cybernetic section of this book explores the world as a system as manifested in first-order cybernetics and leaps into the new cybernetics of participatory environments where systems are, in fact, actor, agent, and observer dependent, as seen in second-order cybernetics. This connection is based on a feedback loop where the participant and the environment are just as much as part of the system as the algorithm and the interface to the algorithm itself. As with the machinic, cybernetic systems can be seen as having diagrammatic and materialized forms. Because of this, cybernetics can be seen as a branch of the machinic. One of the key differences between cybernetics and other machinic systems is one of approach. While other systems tend to approach the question of technology by seeking to shape the frame, re-enframing the world, cybernetics attempts to change the manner in which we associate with technology altogether by engaging the processes of nature as part of a system. As pioneering cybernetic artist Roy Ascott states, in this sense, art itself becomes not a discrete set of entities, but rather a web of relationships between ideas and images in constant flux to which no single authorship is attributable and whose meanings depend on the active participation of whoever enters the network. In a sense, there is one wholeness, the flow of the network in which every idea is part of every other idea, in which every participant reflects on every other participant in the whole. The observer of the artwork is the participator who, in accessing the system, transforms it. It's like 30 seconds. Our ambitious goal in this volume is to outline the practices that change the world and its possibilities through a kind of future making and other world making. What we strive to create in our work are alternate realities that are simultaneously ontological propositions that can be understood through experience as much as through language. While the foundation of world making is deeply philosophical and rigorous, there is a need to connect this work to the world of our everyday experience. As we contemplate issues of why we might want to make a world, we are confronted with the responsibilities of making the world as well. There is an ethical urgency in the world today to change from a path of mutually assured destruction to one that leads to viability. And in this context, we see a future of world making based on base practice as an opportunity to explore the world as it is, and the myriads of ways how it could be, to make the world a better place for now and for future generations. Thank you.